Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What is going on, everybody? How you doing on this beautiful Sunday morning? I am back once again after doing two shows yesterday, going 6-6, 500, grinded everything out. BYU with the biggest comeback ever in the second half helped us out get the cover on that one. But we are back. A little bit of a loss yesterday. Looks like we were I think it was I think we're plus 13.5 units right now, currently as we stand in the not since the inception of the GunzPicks channel with the college basketball picks. So we'll take it. We grind, we live, then we move on to the next day. And here we are today, Sunday. College basketball starts here at noon. Let's get into it. I'm psyched. Get into the chat. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Join me on all the social media junkets, TikTok, Instagram, X, YouTube, at GunzPicks. That's where you can find me. Name is right here if you don't know how to spell it. Right there. Let's go. Peter already starting us off. Still in the plus. Let's go. Yeah. We're grinding. Every single day we're grinding. Most of the time we're up profit. Sometimes we take a little bit of a ding. We give a little donation to the book, a small donation, but we take big chunks the next day. But speaking of big chunks, let's talk about the first game on the board here that starts here in about 12 minutes. Want to get to it right now. Seton Hall versus UConn. We're playing at Harry A. Gamble Pavilion Stores, Connecticut, 12 p.m. East. And I'm going to be going with Connecticut on this one. And I'm going to split this up into two ways. I'm going to do one unit on the first half, and I'm going to do one unit on the game. Look where these two teams are coming from. I mean, Connecticut is one of the best teams in the country. They're 18th in defensive efficiency, 4th in offensive efficiency, 8th in field goal percentage, 8th in offensive rebounding, 87th on the free throw line. They're going to get to the Seton Hall offense here, 84th in offensive efficiency, 22nd in the country in field goal percentage, but they're sloppy with the turnovers, 294th in the country in turnover percentage, 25th on the free throw line. On the defensive side of the ball there, Seton Hall is 41st defensive efficiency, 92nd in defending shots, but they're not a good rebounding team, 177th in the country in defensive rebounds. That's going to be a key component in this one because Connecticut is a good rebounding team. And if you're going against Seton Hall and they get a lot of second chance opportunity in this game, Connecticut's going to roll in this one, in my opinion. Look at the home versus road splits. I think the key component here is what the offense does for Seton Hall on the road. They average 78.3 points per game at home, but only 66.9 points per game on the road. Then you got to look at UConn. UConn's numbers do get better as they get home, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They only allow 59 points per game at home in Stores, Connecticut, versus giving up 70 points per game on the road. So this is a different team when they're in their home court. It's also a revenge factor. If you remember, in December, Seton Hall won outright, smoking UConn 75-60 as 8-point dogs in that game. Now they're sitting here as a 14.5, 15-point dog in the second game. But you got to look at the statistics on this one. When you break down the box score, just UConn underperformed in that game. They shot below their season average. They shot 37% from the floor, 19% from the three. And this is a team that's 4th in the country in field goal percentage. So this is not a team that typically has a bad shooting night. And I don't think that's going to repeat here versus Seton Hall. And then Seton Hall shot well above their pay grade in that game, 51.8% from the floor, 37.8 points percent from the three-point land. They're 296 in three-point percentage in the country. So they shot well above their season average in that game and got the double-digit win for them. So they did stuff that normally, statistically, on average, they typically do. So UConn in the situation, I think, is just in a perfect get-right spot. Then you got to look at Seton Hall. They've been a double-digit dog twice this season. They're 0-2 ATS when that occurs. They get blown out in these situations. So with all that being said, I think UConn's in a revenge spot. You have the line correlation. You actually have a good line functionality between the game line on the first half too at -8.5, -9 versus a -15. It's 60% of the game right there, maybe more. So I'm going to be taking UConn first half -8.5 and on the game -14.5, 1 unit each. So that's a 2-unit play on that game to start us off here on the Breakin' Ankles Sunday show. As we take a sip of the potion to hit the three-wheel motion. Got to get to the chat, talk to my guy, Sox Nation. What up, Guns? Missouri sucks. Yes, they do. Listen, I told you during that, I'm taking a shot on this one. I didn't understand the line, and they did exactly what that everybody thought they were going to do. It was lay an egg. I mean, now it's 16 straight losses for Missouri. Never taken them again. No, I've never taken them all season. That's the first time all season I've ever taken Missouri. I don't, I mean, that's what happens anyways. Skiing today in Vermont, but I'm on it. Let's go. Hit the horn. Peter, it doesn't matter where he is in the country, whatever he's doing, he's always watching the BA shows, the late night bangers, and everything on the GunzPicks channel. Sox Nation back. He goes, what about the over in that game? I can't talk you off of that one. Listen, if you talk about the one thing that I worry about is, can Seton Hall get the amount of points that are going to get you to that over? Because like I said, UConn holds opponents to 59 points per game on their home court. And granted, Seton Hall only scores about 66.9 points per game on the road. So I'm a little bit hesitant on that one. Need two teams to score to get the over. And if you're trusting UConn to get 100, then so be it. But I mean, I'm just staying away from that total altogether. Biggie Rock in the building. What's up, cuz? Give me yeah. And he's also like, thanks for everything. You are rolling. Yeah, we got screwed in that one. But, it is what it is. But listen, BYU is down a ton. We thought we were going to lose that game. And BYU just went on an absolute run in the second half and absolutely demolished TCU. So sometimes you take the good, you take the bad, and then the facts of life. I don't remember the song, but if you remember that from the 80s. All right, let's get to the next play on the board. Enough of this riffraff. I'm going to go with, let's go with the 2-unit plays here first. Let's go with this one here. Siena and Quinnipiac, M&T Bank Arena, Hamden, Connecticut. I thought this was a very strong and aggressive line here for Quinnipiac, and I'm just going to ride with it here at -17. I do have my reasoning behind that, and it has to do with some key personnel they're missing from Siena, and I'll get to that in a second. But Siena is just an awful team. 358th in offensive efficiency, 352nd in field goal percentage. They're 361st in turnover percentage, 345th free throws. And on the defensive side, they're bad as well. 335th in defensive efficiency in the country. Then you got Quinnipiac. You watch the first matchup. They won 82-70 as 5.5-point favorites. Now the line is 17. And I went, why is the line 17? Well, you got to look at the components here. Siena lost their top guard on the 28th of February to an ACL injury. So, and plus they have two other key starters that are probably not going to play in this one. I don't know about the one of them. He's out with an illness, and the other one has a chest injury. I don't think he's going to play in this game as well. But you also look at Siena, 1-10 straight up, 3-8 ATS in their last 11 games, 2-6 ATS as a double-digit dog. And it's just a strong line there for Quinnipiac, considering they were 1-4 straight up in their last 5 games, but they're coming off an 18-point win versus Iona as 3.5-point dogs. So maybe they got a little bounce back factor in this one. I just like the strong line here. I think this is going to be an absolute blowout. No question. Siena is just without key components to their roster and just dealing with scraps to try to finish the season. Give me Quinnipiac -17, 2-unit play. Baby. As I see you guys in the chat over on Instagram, if you're on Twitter, just get into the chat. Let's talk it up. Let's chop it up. I am putting all the chats up today. I want to talk to you boys out there. You see Peter, you see Sox Nation, you see Biggie Rock jumping in. As always, this is what we do. I like talking. I like engaging with you guys, but I appreciate you guys watching as well. And if you're a first-time watcher, like and subscribe to the channel. Hit this thumbs button, will you? Because that kind of helps me grow my channel to the rafters as we get to the precipice of the college basketball season, which is conference tournament time. And then we get into the NCAA tournament. So anything helps from everybody. So give me a yeah so I can take a sip of the potion. All right, next game on the board. Let's go to another 2 p.m. game. We'll do a 1-unit play on this one. I'm a little bit hesitant on it to make it a 2, but I will give it as a 1. I'm giving a lot of plays today because I'm just feeling a little bit froggy, and going 6-6 yesterday kind of ticked me off. But let's go Northern Iowa versus Southern Illinois. Banterra Center in Carbondale, Illinois is the spot, 2 p.m. tip. And I'm going to go with Southern Illinois here, -3, -2.5. I think you can find those lines out there, but I got it at -3, 1 unit play on this one. Basically, these teams do match up well. You have a UNI team that is 129th in offensive efficiency, and they're going against a SIU defense that's 120th in defensive efficiency. If there's an advantage on that side of the ball, you got the defensive rebounding is better on the SIU side. They're 50th in defensive rebounding, and they're going against a Northern Illinois team that is 321st in offensive rebounding. And this team cannot shoot free throws. And I'm talking about Northern Illinois, 220th in free throw percentage. They're going against an offense here for SIU that's 119th in offensive efficiency, but they're best at is shooting free throws. You know, I like free throw shooting teams, 24th in the country in free throw percentage. And they're going against a defense here that is 270th in defending shots. They're a good defensive rebounding team, first in the country in defensive rebounds. But they do allow opponents to get to the free throw line, 359th in the country as far as that statistic is concerned. SIU has won 4 out of the last 5 games, covering the last 3, including a straight-up win versus Indiana State. So this team is playing kind of hot basketball right now, and it's the senior day. It's the last home game of the regular season, so there is motivation to win there. Excuse me. Northern Illinois is also 1-4 straight up in ATS in the last 5 road games, and it's a revenge game for Southern Illinois. They lost 61-57 on January 20th as 5.5-point road dogs. Now the line is flipped to -3 here for Southern Illinois. I think they get it done here at Banterra Center on senior night. Give me Southern Illinois -3, but only a 1-unit play. Baby, let's go. Hit the home. While I'm at it, I'm going to fire another 1-unit play at you. Another Rider versus Kinesis. Buffalo, New York is the spot. 1 p.m. is the tip. I'm going to go with Rider on this one on the money line, -122. Both these teams match up very well if you look at their numbers on KenPom, offensively and defensively. If there is an advantage here for Rider, it's rebounding and shooting free throws. Rider is 98th in free throw percentage versus a Kinesis team that's ranked 356th in free throw percentage. So I think there's 2 key stats there. The rebounding stats, so banging the boards, Rider's going to have an advantage there, especially with, both these teams are not really good with field goal percentage. And then when they get to the free throw line, they make their free throws better than Kinesis does. And there's really no change in the line from the previous game. Rider did beat them 79-76 as 1.5-point favorites at home. And the line I'm seeing is 1.5, -1. Pick maybe, as the line functionality doesn't work to lead me to believe that Kinesis is going to win this home game in a revenge spot. Rider is also 5-0 straight up in ATS the last 5 games, 5-1 ATS in the last 6 road games, and Rider has covered 4 out of the last 6 versus Kinesis, winning 3 out of the last 4. So Rider really has the advantage here. I think with the free throw shooting, banging the boards, the historic matchups with Kinesis, and they're just playing well on the road right now. So I'm going to take Rider on this one. Money line, -122, 1-unit banger. Baby, hit the yeah! 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 And right there, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 picks that I just threw at you. I got 2 more to give out here on this beautiful Sunday. But while I'm at it, if you're watching this right now, you're watching it later, you're watching it whenever, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the thumbs up so I can a thumbs up, or hit the bell, I should say, so you can be notified every time that I go live. I go live daily, 6:30s on Monday through Friday. And of course, I go live every Saturday twice, 11 a.m., 7:30 p.m. And then, of course, I'm live with you now here at 11:45 on a beautiful Sunday morning. All right, let's go to the next play that's going on the board here. This is an interesting one, and this is why it's a 2-unit play. The series history, I can't ignore, even though this team is absolutely terrible. I am backing a team right now, and I'll tell you this, that is 6-24 straight up this season, and they're a short dog at home. in the last home game of the season. It's Illinois State versus Valparaiso. Athletic Rec Center, Valparaiso, Indiana, 2 p.m. tip. And I'm going with Valparaiso here, plus 5.5. And when you hear these stats, it may lead you to take them on the money line. Valparaiso beat Illinois State in the first match at 59-50 as 10-point road dog. So they've already beaten them once this season. The line is 5.5 here at home for Valparaiso. So the strong functionality with the line is great on this one. Valparaiso has historically, and I mean historically, owned this Illinois State team. 9-1 straight up in ATS in the last 10 games versus Illinois State. If there's a win on the board that Valparaiso consistently gets, no matter how bad this team is, it's Illinois State. All right. Illinois State is also 0-3 ATS and 1-2 straight up when they are favored between 4 and 6 points. And this is what one of those situations where they're a favorite of 5.5. Like I said, Valparaiso is 6-24 and a short dog at home versus a better team. Why aren't we taking this team? We did it with Notre Dame yesterday with Clemson. Why don't we just do it again and take this Valparaiso team at plus 5.5? Why not? Let's make it a 2-unit play. Valparaiso plus 5.5, 2-unit banger, baby. Cock the gun, take the shot is all you can do. And I think we're just going to ride with this team. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm taking some bad teams lately, and I hope I don't get Missouri'd. That's all I can say. But the history tells me that Valparaiso can get it done here versus Illinois State. All right, one more play here. And actually, you know what? Before I do that, let's just call that the dog of the day. All right. Of course, I just gave you, 5 plays? Why don't we just make it 6, shall we? Actually, I gave you 7 plays technically with the UConn thing. But let's go back into the chat. Let's talk to the boys here. Sox Nation. Yeah, Illinois State sucks year in, year out. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, so does Valparaiso, though. Let's ride with it. Why not? Let's do it. Let's have some fun here. Dog of the day, Valparaiso. Good idea. Bang, bang, bang. Let's go. And oh wait, I do have another. I have 2 plays. I'm sorry, because you talked about this one. What about UAB? I'll get to that game in a second. I do have opinion on that game, so I do have actually one more here that I was on the bottom of my sheet. My fault. 2 more plays to give you guys out today. Can you repeat the plays? Yes, I can. Proven winner. Right now, I'll do that at the end of the show. But there is an early game right now that has already tipped off. UConn minus 8.5 first half, and then we've got the game minus 14.5 for UConn. You can go grab it live for the full game right now, so you might get some value out of that one early. Let's go into what I consider my best bet of the night. And we're going to the Big Ten, and we're going to the rivalry of all rivalries, at least from the football perspective. But this is basketball. We're going Michigan versus Ohio State. Value City Arena, Columbus, Ohio is the spot. 4 p.m. is the tip. And we're going to go with Ohio State, double-digit favorite versus this Michigan team that is hapless and a falling knife. Minus 10.5, 2-unit banger. Let's talk about it. Advantage in this game for Ohio State. It's the Ohio State's offense versus this Michigan defense. Ohio State, 39th in offensive efficiency, 181st in field goal percentage, 89th in offensive rebounding, and a good free throw shooting team to boot, 28th in free throw percentage. On the defensive side of the ball for Michigan, 187th in defensive efficiency, 263rd in defending shots, 286th in defensive rebounding. So advantages all the way across the board here on the offensive side for Ohio State. Michigan's weak point on the offensive side, if you actually look at their numbers, they turn over the ball a lot, 266 ranked in turnover percentage, and they can't shoot free throws. They're 271st in free throw percentage in the country. And then you got Michigan. What's their motivation in this game, right? They're just trying to finish the season out. They're 1-11 straight up, 2-10 ATS in the last 12 games. It's really showing that this program is in trouble. They need to fire the coaches. They need to clean up the program and get back to what it was when Michigan, quite frankly, is not that far away from being a title contender. Get back to where they were before. And then it's a revenge game for Ohio State. If you remember, Ohio State lost to Michigan 73-65 on January 15th as 1.5-point road favorites. And now the line has swung significantly towards Ohio State, making them a 10.5 and 11-point favorite. I found a 10.5 on FanDuel. I had to take it because that was the only break I could get. But I think 11s are still out there. Ohio State has been on a little bit of a run lately. If you actually look at their 6 games, 4-2 straight up, 5-1 ATS in the last 6 games, and that includes wins over Purdue at home and Michigan State on the road. I mean, good spots, good positions, and both of those games, by the way, were on a Sunday. So this team plays very well on Sundays. This is why it's my best bet of the night. And of course, Michigan is 1-5 ATS as a double-digit dog this season. This team cannot cover spreads. They are falling knife. This program is hapless. They don't care. And then you have a Ohio State team with a chip on their shoulder, want to get it done in this rivalry versus Michigan. Let's get it done. Go Buckeyes. Give me Ohio State minus 10.5, 2-unit banger. Baby! Fire in the gun. Let's talk with everyone. Proven winner. He's saying it. He goes, agree with Ohio State. Yeah, it's a perfect spot. Who's going to take Michigan? Who's out of their minds to go take Michigan? I want Michigan to be up just a little bit at halftime so I could double down and take Ohio State in the second half, because this is Ohio. If you watch any of these Michigan games, Michigan gives you hope in the first half and they completely fall apart in the second half. It's a beautiful thing. You should watch these games. Keep them. I hate Michigan. Go Irish. Oh, of course, I hate Michigan too. I mean, Notre Dame football fan through and through. I'm a Duke fan on the basketball side, however, but yes, I agree with you on that one. And listen, how about straight up winner like I told you to take on Notre Dame last night? Easy win on that one. Controlled the game left and right. Loved it. All right, we got one more play to give out here on this episode of the Breaking Ankles show. And of course, Sox Nation alluded to it here. UAB, he asked, what about UAB? Let's talk about it. UAB is going on the road here to go play Memphis. FedEx Forum, Memphis, Tennessee. Y'all, this game is at 5:30 p.m. East. That's the tip. And we're going with the UAB. We just got to trust them as a dog on the road. This team is exceptional in these spots. You look at UAB, 10-3 ATS in the last 13 games. This team is red hot. 5-1 ATS in the last 6 road games. Another good stat. Then you look at them as a dog. 10-1 as a dog this season. 10-1. Why wouldn't I take UAB blindly without, especially against this Memphis team, right? Granted, I will give you this. Memphis on a little bit of run, covering some spreads. This team was not a good covering team for months. And now they're starting to pick things up. Last 3 games, they've covered and won. And that includes wins over a good team like FAU. But they're 1-11 ATS when a favorite of 7 points or more. These wins were either as a dog or as a short favorite here for Memphis. Now you're seeing the line back to where it needs to be to fade Memphis. 1-11 ATS when they are a favorite of 7 points or more. UAB beat Memphis too, so they do have that history with one another. UAB beat them 97-88 on January 28th as 4-point home dogs, and now the line is only 7.5, 8. It's not a big line swing. I like 6. I like 8. Hell, I like 11, 10. Those are strong line moves from game A to game B, especially a team that you lost to as a dog. This line is not very strong to make it deemed a Memphis blowout. And then you got UAB covered 3 out of the last 4 versus Memphis as well. So this team historically has done well versus Memphis. I cannot fade this UAB Blazers team at this point. They've proven time and time again when they sit as a dog, they cover the spread, they cash your tickets, you walk away happy, you can go buy yourself a steak dinner, and this is at 5:30 p.m. East, so this is right prime for dinner time. Give me UAB on this one. Let's feast. +8, 2-unit banger, baby. Sox Nation. I just said it. Memphis is not a good covering team. Big spreads. Yes, 1. I told you, 1-11 as a favorite of 7 points or more this season. 1-11. I mean, overinflated lines for the Memphis Tigers, thinking they're the old Memphis Tigers. I think they got to make a coaching change there. Even though, granted, I will say this, they are winning games, but that conference, that AAC conference, that conference tournament is going to be must-watch TV. So any team can win that conference. I think half of the conference can win that championship. It's going to be so fun to watch. We got UCF, we got UAB, we got Memphis. So many fun teams to watch on this one. I can't wait. I think FAU's in there. Woo! Woo! I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba. All right. Proven Witness has agreed with Ohio State. You got Michigan quit, period. Yeah, they've definitely completely folded like a cheap suit. Losing by 30 to Rutgers. Yeah, it's the coaches, it's the staff, it's the program. Everybody wants to transfer. All their key stars wanted to get the hell out of there, so they did. What about the under in North Texas? Don't have an opinion on that game. I was leaning towards the North Texas side, but I decided to lay off of it. I think it's -9, -9.5 currently. I am greatly off that one for sure. No touch on that. Great. Thank you, Guns. The best out there. Boys, he knows. Hit the horn. All right, we're on a little bit of run. Like I said, we're 13.6 units since the show. I started on February 14th, right after the Super Bowl. We had a great NFL season. We had plus 24 units in the NFL this season. So let's recap for all the people that just joined the show. We currently have a game going on right now. I'm not looking at the score, so don't spoil it for me. We got UConn first half -8.5 and -14.5. 1 unit each on those. We're going to do Southern Illinois for a unit -3. We're going to do Rider money line for a unit versus Kinesis. Best bet of the day. We're going to go Ohio State -10.5, 2 units. We're going to go Valparaiso +5.5 as the dog of the day for 2 units. We're going to go Quinnipiac with a short-staffed Siena team -17 for 2 units. And we're going to finish the night off here with UAB +8, 2-unit banger on that. Those are the plays that pays the bills. I will recap them on X. And I'll, of course, send out some clips on all the social media junkets, X, TikTok, and Instagram. So let's cash some tickets. Let's dominate the ball. And as always, let's keep dancing. Bang!